Faces, 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 faces. How's everybody doing this morning? Can you tell that I woke up literally 45 minutes ago? Yay! So before we fully get started, I kind of want to hang out for a second while I, put a tad bit of makeup on my face because I didn't have time. Let me adjust the size of the captions real quick. So it looks like it just needs a little adjustment. There we go, that should be a bit better. Okay. Hi everybody, you guys are doing so great. Welcome into World D5. This is probably the longest stream day we are ever going to have. We're split into two sessions today because we are showcasing all of the Crit Award nominated solo RPG games, which is why you can only just see my face at current. But when we get started for all the others, you're going to see their faces too. And Twitch chat is up because that's, at least for me, because I'm also running tech for mine, it's just me talking to myself, which is very odd. So the stream is going to, the first one is going to be about 6 hours at most. We kind of have a limit for ourselves for 2 hours per game to give it a good showcase, and then we'll take a break for like an hour or so while we switch techs, and then we'll have 2 more additional games, which will be about 4 hours. So in total, I'd say about 6 or 7 hours, give or take, break times, and if somebody goes a little bit under or over. Anyways, so I need some eyeliner. I need that stuff. So we are very excited because we have not done solo RPGs on the channel before, and our lovely Lemon Mika has always been the one to come up with these really brilliant ideas, such as playing indie TTRPGs in the first place. So he had the idea to also do some solo games, and Crit Awards came up, was like, hey, you know what, we've got all of these solo RPG games that people can play. And we went, all right, let's do it. This literally came together, I think, in what, like a week and a half? We're just like, let's do it! And then it all started to come together really fast, and it was pretty great. So the first game we're going to be playing is CHVLR, though in my head, for some reason, I want to call it just Chevalier, or like Chevalier, you know, something like that. So we'll talk a little bit about the game. All right. Because this is going to have a couple of different assets that we're going to need. I went through reading this at 1 a.m. I'm really good at going to bed on time. And by on time, I mean 2 a.m. So yay, good for me. I'm so sorry I only gave us a week. It's okay. It was a little stressy, but it came together really well. And we're good at that. Just concentrate real quick for a second. Cousins, not sisters, right? Because that one side went perfect while the other did not. Okay, so we're going to talk real quick about the first part of this game, which is safety. I have pinned the content warnings, so please be aware of these content warnings. This is an intense game, so I'm going to read out this whole thing just to be sure that everyone hears it and everyone is aware of it. CHVLR contains many themes and prompts that some players may find troubling and difficult. This is a game about fear, violence, depression, stress, and isolation, and child/teenage endangerment. The game is centered around a teenager who is used as a soldier of war against man or beast. Is your choice. But war nonetheless. You will face the crushing pressure of being one of the unfortunate few able to pilot these machines and the realities of what that means. During the course of play, you will kill and very likely be killed. Wretched and alone games are often vehicles to explore darker subjects, and CHVLR, my brain still wants to do it, is no different. Ultimately, though, this is a game, and if you encounter a prompt that you are uncomfortable with, or one that is likely to upset you, you are urged not to use it or alter it. If during the course of the game you feel that you are having a tough time exploring prompts, please take a break or stop playing entirely. You come first. This is just a game. And that includes chat as well. I've gone through these themes and I'm totally fine with them, but this is also for you. This is just a game. Specific content warnings: casualties of war, child soldiers, claustrophobia, physical injury, psychological stress, and suicide. These intense themes make me think that both Justin and Danielle are going to love this game. You guys like more intense, like, horror games, and it's great. Okay. I am just about ready, and then we can get into the rest of the details. I have a ton of D6s, and here are my cards. I did not have room in my layout to do cards, so I'm just going to have some physical cards with me. Most solo games require some sort of cards to be able to go into the document and know what to do next. It's kind of like your guiding force. And that's exactly what we're going to use them for. An additional moment of concentration so I don't poke my eye out. There we go. I feel a little bit more put together. Just need some color on my face because I am but one color, and it is white. Very white. I don't want to match the white that's on the screen, so we'll just make do. All right. How's everybody doing this morning? Well, I guess for some people it's afternoon. 10, 11, 12. So yeah, so for some people it's like mid-afternoon now. When I wake up, that's morning. No matter what the clock says, it's morning. Don't mind how like wild I do my blush, okay? Everything is fine. And I swear it's normal. There we go. A little bit of color. Isn't that crazy how something like that can make you feel? It's early morning there. Oof. Early morning here. Yeah, it's Shadow. You're up early. Okay. Let's get into the meat of it. Here we go. So for those that have just popped by, welcome to Roll D5. My name is Onduin, also known as On. I am the creator of Roll D5, and this long stream day will be consisting of all of the Crit Award nominated solo RPG games. There's 5 of them, and everybody has about 2 hours each. First stream session will be about 6 hours long. The next one will be about 4. So we'll be splitting it up into 2. So let's get into the game, what we need to do, and how it all works. This is to showcase what it is like going into playing a solo game. I've never played one before, so I will be doing lots of thinking and looking to make sure that I do it right, and hopefully answering any questions that you would have also playing. I'll get my D12 bag of dice because you're gonna need D6s. Technically, you also need a Jenga tower, but I don't have such a thing. So here we go. We're going to read this little intro and just go page by page and play the game and see what happens. CHVLR is a game about the terrible cost of war and the scars it leaves on those chosen to fight. It is a game about violence, it is a game about fear, but most of all, it's a game about hope, its power, and its absence. You are a teenager barely into your adolescence before you are chosen, or perhaps forced, to pilot a colossal bipedal robot known as a CHVLR. Oh, I guess I did pronounce Chevalier. Oh my gosh, I did pronounce it right in my head. I don't know how I didn't notice that part last night. Chevalier. Sometimes brains are great. There has been a little in the way of your training. You are the only one that can pilot this machine. You are the only one with the ability to command its power. Now it's time for you to take to the field. You will see and do terrible things. You will kill. Few can truly prepare for the burden that such responsibility places on your mind and your body. You are so young and so much rests on your shoulders. The enemy in this game is kept purposefully nebulous, as is the central conflict. This is to allow for a variety of stories to be told, from the horrors of traditional warfare to the terror of annihilation of the human race. Each has their own value and themes to explore, and ultimately, how much does a soldier ever really know of the politics that keeps them on the field? I lost my spot. What can you truly understand of your enemy until you are face to face with them? And yes, Shadow, I have a whole bunch of D6s to attempt to build a dice tower, so we'll see how that goes. Chevalier is heavily influenced by the mecha anime genre series and its themes. So here's some to watch if you want to kind of get a more vibe of the show. Neon Genesis, Evangelion. Mobile Suit Gundam, Robotech, and Ra-Zefun. Oh my gosh. Words. For anime that deals with similar things and character beats that are not mecha, some references are Puella Magi. Oh my gosh. I'm not gonna pronounce them because I don't want to do it wrong. But they are there on the screen for you to take a look at. I'm so sorry. Okay, let's get into it. As the newest recruit to your experimental military program, you find yourself in unfamiliar surroundings amidst strangers. Whether you are selected from a group of recruits, were unknowingly raised to become a pilot, or were simply just in the wrong place at the wrong time, is up to you. Every pilot has their own story. I lost my place again. Sorry. As you enter the program, you are surgically fitted with a device known as SCS, Seikyo Control System, a small implant at the base of your neck that physically connects to your Chevalier unit, allowing for a complete control of the unit in an instinctual level. I don't think I've read out loud this much since college. I normally read in my head, you know? You had no time for basic training and are forced to begin your first mission in the field. This is your first mission with your Chevalier. You will navigate trials of the battlefield along with the developing bond between you and your machine. Your foe may be other humans, or it may be something altogether more extraterrestrial. Either way, they want you dead. They are already here. Every time you connect to the machine, every time you initialize those systems, know that it is all that stands between you and annihilation. The battles you will face will be bloody, the damage catastrophic, and it will not end until you leave the field. I'm assuming either dead or alive. During the game, you will chronicle your missions and record your mental state in personal logs. You may live to become a veteran, or you may have your young life cut tragically short. Each mission could be your last. How do you live with that hanging over you? Okay, the equipment that you're going to need for this game. You are going to need one deck of cards. Some others that are playing, who are playing today, will be using some VTTs, like Roll20 on the screen to display the cards. But as for me, I wanted to use my physical Lord of the Rings. Oh, you can't see, it's so shiny. Given to me by Matt, who is one of our original co-creators. So I really wanted to use it. You will need one 6-sided die. So I think for this game, it kind of feels like a chaotic, wild game. So these are weird dice. This is my D6 that have all of the numbers and dots in chaotic fashions. So I feel like that's really appropriate. So that's what I'm going to use for my main die. One tumbling block tower, which we don't have. So they do link alternatives for anything that could be used. So I'm going to pull up. Actually, you know what? Let's click it and take a look, because there is one that we're going to use right here. I really liked this one, actually. There's one that you can do with like a dice tower, but I thought this one was really cool. Start with 9 tokens, of which you can use dice, whatever you would like. When instructed to pull from the tower, instead roll the die. If the die shows 6, you lose 1 token. If your number of tokens falls between 5 and 2, you lose a token if the die shows the number of tokens you have left or a higher number. When you have 1 token left, you still need to roll a 2 or higher to lose the token. So for instance, if you have 1 or 2 tokens left, a roll of 2 or higher costs you to lose 1 token. When you lose your last token, the tower falls. I'm going to take a screenshot for myself real quick, so that I can just have that up and available for myself. Because that's the one that felt easiest for my ADHD brain to use. There's a whole bunch of other ones that you can use. Real quick, I'm just going to take a look at chat, catch up on anything that's happening. Oh, you guys are so nice. You got this. They're online Jenga towers. Yes, they do have one of those linked as well. I didn't choose to use it specifically today because I already had a lot of tech things going on. And so I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do this one. That seems simple. I love that you guys like the chaos die. I really love it. I have like 2 or 3 of them. They're great. You're going to count the Lord of the Rings references today. There are 2. Technically, my name is a Lord of the Rings reference. We could count that as 3, the River Anduin. Kidding. Lord of the Rings is part of my personality, so that just kind of comes out. So take a shot every time. Speaking of, at the beginning of the stream, RLU redeemed stretch that I forgot to do. Oh gosh. Posture check, which I think counts all the same, and hydrate. Where's my water? Where's my water? Guys, I forgot my water. No, it's right here. It was hiding. The only reason I found it was Mika's lemon sticker. So I'll get a drink real quick. Yes, it is a massive water bottle. Yeah, good thing you told me to hide it. Okay, 2? Okay. Okay. I told my husband that he needs to watch out for me today because I'm doing tech for the first couple of streams. And he has to feed me because all I have is a bar. So he's in charge of feeding me today. Okay. Do you ever just like drink so much and then just like can't breathe? Well, not can't breathe, but like you're out of breath? Yeah. Thanks, guys. Also, how is the music level? Is the music not playing? Oh, I don't think the music's playing. Oh, I don't think the music should be playing. Hold on. It should be looping, but it's not. Okay, I'm not sure what music is about to play, but I have one that's showing that's playing. So we'll see what it is. You know what? It fits. You know what? It fits. Let me know how the music level is for that. Let me know how the music level is for that. Oh, sorry. There might have been an echo there as I was listening to it. Oh, now the other music's playing. What on earth is happening here? Okay. Let me know how that music level is. How that music level is. Okay. Sorry, I was listening to it myself. Okay. And 10 tokens. So we're gonna need a whole bunch of tokens for this. These are Aaron, my laundry's dog tags. Aaron, if you ever see this, here's my kiss for you. So 10 tokens, which I am actually going to be using some paint for my tokens, which I thought was kind of cool to use. So I've got these small little paint samples. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Ooh, I dropped something. I don't know what it is. 8, 9. We got this. 10. Okay. So we've got our 10 tokens, and you can use whatever you would like for tokens, whatever you have. You can do like a flower, you know, something cute. Whatever you would like. Okay, so I have my 10 tokens. A way to record your entries. I'm actually going to be doing the audio recording, so I'm just going to use my phone for voice memos. I thought that would be unique. Everybody else is doing kind of like typed out journal entries, and I wanted to do more voice. Okay, so we've got our die. Let me grab 6. I think it was 6. No, start with 9. Start with 9 tokens, and those are going to be my dice. 3. Hopefully the sound of dice is nice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6. Oh, so you can see what I'm doing. 7. 8. And ooh, this one's cool. 9. Oh, that's one of the dice from Avatar. Great game. Okay, so now we have our we've got our normal 10 tokens, which we're going to be using these, and then we've got our 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 tokens for the dice that we're going to use instead of the Jenga tower, and we've got our deck of cards. So I think we are pretty set and ready to go. We do need to remove the jokers, which I believe I've already done, but let me just double check, and then we will get into the actual meat of the game after we've done the introduction. I guess I did not remove jokers. Maybe I did it in my head, but I didn't actually do it. Okay, jokers have been fully removed. Okay, setup is simple. Shuffle the cards and place them face down within easy reach. These will be how you determine your prompts for play. So I'm gonna shuffle. Maybe you can hear that, maybe not, but I'm shuffling. Woo. arrange the block towers you normally would. We'll skip that section because we're doing the other dice alternative. These two, I guess I could talk about the first one. So the tower, or the dice block that we have, represents your Chevalier in the fracturing of your body and mind. These two are irrevocably intertwined as you discover that the bond between you and your unit is much more than of human and machine. As play progresses and more blocks are moved and removed from the tower, consider how this might be reflected in the state of your unit. Real quick, Mika, since I know you're here, I forgot to post on Threads that we're live. Would you mind doing that? If you're still here. If not, it's okay. As play progresses, more voice. This will be reflecting your state of mind. How well are you at those ad hoc repairs really going to hold up against the enemy? Can you stomach the thought of taking another life? Have you grown to hate your Chevalier and all it represents? Or have you grown to see it is as family, as kin, and the only one that you can rely on? If the tower falls during the play, your Chevalier is too damaged to continue, and a catastrophic failure results in your death, ending the game. You may also choose to play the game with no tower, or if so, simply ignore any prompt that tells you to pull from it. Then it becomes far less likely to have a failure within your Chevalier will be your cause of death. So you can choose not to have the tower, and you will stay alive a little bit longer. But with my luck, this feels like a Dark Souls game, and I'll probably die within the first 3 cards. Begin the game by filling out your pilot record found in the back of the booklet. That is the frame that we have, and I've filled it out as best I could in the moment. Once that is done, start recording your first log. It should be as follows. So I'm going to turn on my voice memos. I have a recording there from 2021. I have no idea what that is. We'll have to discover that later. Thanks, Mika. Okay, here we go. Designation, pilot, unit ID, mech name, number, RLED5. It's 10:43 in the morning. I'll be honest, I don't remember what day it really is, but today marks my first week in the Chevalier program and is the day of my first deployment in the field. My SCS was installed 3 days ago. I've run a few training simulations, but it's the first time I've been in the cockpit. The colonel says that there is no other choice. The enemy's here, and I have to stop them. Unit RLE D5 initializing, systems green, pilot me on da win, signing off. Recording done and made. For you Destiny fans, I hope you like my ghost pop sticker socket. Okay, so we've made our first log as our wonderful on. I always tend to name any sort of characters I play as myself. It makes me feel more, at least when it comes to like video games, and I felt the same with the solo game. As myself, it feels like I can make it more personal, and I can feel more of what the game is trying to tell me, or the story that it is trying to tell. So I have named it on myself. All subsequent logs should begin with the date and time, pilot and unit designation, and end with pilot name signing off. The contents of the log are entirely up to you, but it should summarize the events of what happened since the last entry. The game is divided into 2 phases that represent the time passing between events. Your game can take place over days or even years. It's up to you. All right. Phase 1, deployment. Roll the die and draw the number of cards from the deck, placing them face down in front of you. Okay, so I'm going to roll the die. That is 4. So we're going to do 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And placing them face down in front of you. 1, 2, 3, 4. Who knows, maybe I'll take a couple of photos as we go as kind of a way to show you guys kind of like the background of how things work. So I'll do that. If I can get a good angle without showing how dirty my desk is. Okay. Turn the first card drawn over and consult the field manual. Okay. First card is an ace. Gorgeous, gorgeous. So we've got our ace. So once we do that, continue until you have turned over all of the cards and follow the prompts. After you have completed all of the cards, discard the cards you have used unless told otherwise. I am actually going to keep, just like for my ADHD brain, I'm going to keep just like a little log for myself real quick. So then I can remember the ones that I've done. You don't have to do this. I'm doing it for the sake of that this is a live stream, and I want to make sure I keep everything in check for you guys. Thank you, Shadow, for pulling up some journal docs for us to use. Okay. Google Docs. Create and share. Yes. Okay. CHVLR. So then I know exactly what I've done. Okay, fantastic. All right. And yes, it is good to point that we are still, this is still Pride Month, so we do still have some things going on. The overlay is not here at the moment just for ease of screen and accessibility. But we are still raising money. I think last time we checked, we're $15 or $30 away from our $600 stretch goal. So please check that out as well. Okay, so we did ACE. So this is part of phase 1. I did notice too, I guess we kind of start with the field manual going down. So about the cards. Hearts are personal files. They represent your physical health and state of mind. When you draw a heart, you are exploring personal costs of war. The Chevalier represents your unit, interacting with the unit in some way. Diamonds, battlefield, represents the physical field of battle. Spades, the enemy. Spade represents the enemy. And the force trying with all its might to kill you. Okay. Ooh. Okay, ace is a big one right off the bat. Okay, an order comes down from the line from mission control to lower your weapons. A ceasefire has been called. The war could be over at any time now. That was fast. I don't think it's gonna last though. Pull from the tower. Do not discard this card. Instead, put it to one side and place 10 tokens on it. Okay. Putting my 10 tokens on it. And then we're going to roll a dice for our, I don't think that's going to show, with the whole tokens thing that we're doing. Okay. Oh, gosh. If the die shows 6, you lose 1 token. Fuck. Okay. I have lost a token. Oof. If you roll a 6, remove a token from the card. Okay. Token removed from the card. If you successfully remove all tokens, this was your final mission. Make one final pull from the tower. If the tower stands, your mandatory service and the game itself ends. Can you walk away after everything you've seen and done? We haven't done anything yet. Yeah, that's the game. Thanks for coming. This is possible to happen. Like we have planned for like the potential of the game ending like right away. It is possible, and that's what makes these games so fun. It's kind of like those games that you play that are like choose your own adventure. Those are my favorite games, And I don't know why I never considered a solo RPG before, and I kind of feel like I've done a disservice to myself not doing one. So I'm excited, and I hope this is not my final mission before it starts. Okay. If the tower falls, you heed to the order. Okay. Make one final pull from the tower if the tower stands. It should still stand because we are doing a different... Oh, that's a 1. If your number of tokens... If the dice shows 6, you roll 1 token. Okay, everything still stands. Okay, so we're good. Okay, so now we're gonna move on to the next card, which is a 2 of something. What is it? Oh, 2 of hearts. That was a really confusing card there for a second. If you don't think that that's not a 2 of hearts, I don't know what to tell you. Oh, wait. Spades? It's in the shape... Whatever. Diamond. 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 Can you tell my ADHD meds haven't kicked in yet? Thanks for sticking with me while I struggle. This is why I was really anxious last night about playing in front of people, because I knew I had messed up. Okay, so we're gonna do the 2 of diamonds. So let's go find 2 of diamonds. Actually, I can't tell which one is diamonds. Because there's a lot, so how do I know which... Oh, I wonder if it's going in order. Like here. Like that first page is personal files. Oh, wait. There's logos there. Oh. Thank you. Okay, so there are these little symbols here which indicate on the page which one your thing is. So I might have done the wrong ace, but you know what? I'm going to keep with it. Because I'm going to live with my mistakes. Okay, so this one is diamonds, which is battlefield. You know what? I'm actually going to take that ace out. We're going to start over with that. We're going to do a different one. We're going to start with the 2. And we're going to make an adjustment there. Just because I want it to start out properly. And I feel it's necessary. So, 2 of diamonds. Diamonds. Side bot. Okay, that looks like diamond on the side to me. Okay. The music keeps stopping, guys. I'm not sure why, so my apologies. I might switch between 2 different musics that I have to make sure that it continues playing something for you. Okay, we've got 2. Decades of war, natural disasters, and cataclysmic destruction have eroded Earth's resources. Millions live in poverty on Earth and in space, struggling to survive. When you are invited to a gala to see the opulence in how the ruling class and upper echelons of the military live, how does this make you feel? Without really, that hits strong and it hits fast. So for my on character, I think as a, just barely, I'm gonna say probably around 17. We're gonna do 18. I know it's, supposed to be child/teenager, but for the sake of the stream, we are going to use technical legal adult at 18. I think it's 18 or it's 21. We're gonna go with 18. I think being still young, still seeing a lot of the world, but only through certain lenses, it probably comes off as a slap in the face. Seeing all of these natural disasters, probably living through a lot of terror, and then suddenly being taken to the military and being told, hey, it's time to fight, here's your unit, off you go. Seeing all of these things probably also makes them feel a little guilty. Knowing that these delicious meals, cakes, meat, which is probably something Anna hasn't seen in a while. I'm actually going to call her DeWin, just because sometimes in the military they go by last name. So DeWin probably hasn't... The captions are calling it Dylan DeWin, just for captions. Seeing all these things is probably also a little bit of excitement. Like, oh my gosh, I haven't seen, like, real meat in years. I can eat this, but tasting the food, tasting the sweetness, seeing what money can bring, I think really settles a lot of guilt. So I'm actually going to write some of that down here, because I know we're doing voice memos, but we're also doing some of this for keeping track of what we've done. So we did 2 of diamonds. Seeing the rich and eating the foods, seeing what money can do and brings both excitement and guilt. Okay. All right, we've done that. It's time for the second card, which is 5 of Hearts. So I'm just gonna refer back to what the heart symbol looks like, because they are slightly different. Okay, 5 of Hearts. Oof. No one ever seems to listen to you. They send you into battle day after day, expect you to put your life on the line for theirs, yet treat you like a child. You are surrounded by people, but you have never been so alone. Pull from the tower. Damn. We're gonna do a little notations of this about that feeling. No one ever seems to listen to you. I think for DeWin, this is probably going, like, those feelings of being alone, no one to listen to, I think would actually bring her closer to the Chevalier unit, because it's, at current, the only thing that she can rely on. It's a machine, but it still has that intertwined connectability within each other. And I believe that she would confide in it. Unsure if Chevalier is listening. So during these moments when she's alone and sad and feeling like an ant in an anthill, she'll probably just whisper little things to it. Probably such things as like, today was really hard. I'm just gonna sit here a while and think about it. Little things like that, I think, is what she would do. So that was the 5 of Hearts. And that would be, let's see, oops, guilty. 5 of Hearts, so let's see, lower the music. Music has been lowered a smidge, thank you. Feeling alone causes her to, oops, causes her to confide in Chevalier. Okay, let's go to the next one, which is a Jack of Spades. Okay. Spades, the enemy. Ooh. Okay. Let's go to the enemy. Oh, it's also marked at the bottom of the page. By the way, it's marked at the bottom of the page. The enemy. Okay. You are face to face with a bitter rival, an enemy that you have faced many times in battle. You know that this will be a difficult fight. Even if you win, it will be a Pyrrhic victory. Describe your opponent and pull from the tower. Okay. So we're gonna do a roll for the tower before we do the enemy. Okay. It's between 5 and 2, which I got a 2. If the number of tokens falls between. Okay. So we are good for now. Instructed pull from tower. Instead, roll the die. If the dice are 6, you lose a token. Okay. We are safe. We don't need to pull from our dice tower pool. As for enemy, what about a defector? Somebody who thought that their side was the wrong side. Somebody that DeWin probably fought in the sense of training as well. Fought with them in training. Basically, you know, in downtime, growing up together in a way that you can in the battlefield as a young person. So it was probably a crushing and grueling, almost like emotional defeat when they're told, hey, what's a good name? Luke, because I looked up and I have a Luke Skywalker helmet drawing. Luke had defected to the other side. They're missing. They left some sort of note that says I can't do this anymore. They took their Chevalier unit, so when they fight, it's an emotional blow as well as physical, because they're both fighting in their Chevalier units against each other when they were once friends. So that's her personal enemy. So that was Jack of Spades. Enemy is Luke, a friend turned enemy when he defected. Defected? I think that's the word. Yeah. Okay. Alright, next card. 5 of diamonds. Hi. How's it going? You cute little vampire himbo. Okay, I don't know if I showed you because I got distracted by my friends joining. So this is a 5 of diamonds. So believe that is up here. 5 of diamonds. You know what? I'm still gonna look at the thing. It tells me. Okay. Oh, this is. Oh, it's diamonds. Sorry, that was another enemy. Battlefield. Okay. So we're gonna go to the battlefield. Okay. 5. Did you know 5 is my favorite number? So hopefully this is a good thing. This is a desperate situation. You were ambushed. The only way to save a fellow pilot from destruction is to shoot your weapon through a populated zone. You know that there are still civilians in the area and that some of them are likely in the firing line. Do you fire? Being that DeWin is so young and still has heart. It's kind of like the trolley problem very quickly in her mind. Do I save this fellow pilot or potentially hurt innocent people? I think this would pull really hard at her heartstrings, knowing that this fellow pilot may not make it because she will not shoot. I have a feeling that because she was recruited so young that she'd still seen or she probably would have been in a situation where she was a civilian and fires shooting all around her and had seen civilians being killed, and I think she wouldn't do that herself. Probably having been in a similar situation, she will not fire. Okay, that was 5 of diamonds. Oh, I don't usually have, I just have 5 diamonds. Did not shoot through civilian area to save a comrade. Hopefully that doesn't come back to bite. Okay. So we are done with those 4 cards that we had initially done. So we're going to go back up here. Continue until you've overturned. After you've completed all the cards, discard the cards you have unless told otherwise. So we're going to discard the 4 cards that we just used. I'm going to tilt my camera down just a little bit more. We are done with that. Phase 2 mission log. Take a moment to reflect on the events of the deployment phase. Consider the condition of your Chevalier, the movements of the enemy, your successes and failures, and how you are feeling. Whenever a card is drawn, the field manual should be consulted. Oh, sorry. That was just like its whole other thing. So let's take a look at the moments that we've had. Seeing the rich, the military, all of these people eating their fancy foods. It's a feeling of excitement followed by an immediate guilt. So she's feeling conflicted about that. Feeling alone causes her to confide in the Chevalier, whether she knows it's listening or not. She did have to fight, and it doesn't seem like anything was won. It just kind of, the battle probably kind of just fizzled out, and they both weren't able to kill each other. Oh, yes, I'm still here. It's just me in the call. Google Meets. It's okay. Just because I'm alone. So it's probably really hurts. She's probably got a heart that's hurting right now because not only has she had to fight one of her good friends who left, but she also lost a comrade because of choices not to hurt civilians, which she will feel probably guilty about still because it was a friend. It's kind of a natural feeling, but is probably not upset about the decision. Okay. So let's move on to the next phase. So that was phase 1. Let's just do this as technically phase 2. This is not Marvel. It's not phase 2. Okay, so we go back to phase 1, I believe. Let me just scroll down just to be sure. Oh, that's the Chevalier unit, like, helmet. It's so cool. It's gorgeous. I was thinking of doing like a little cosplay, but I didn't have time, sadly, because I chose to sleep in a little bit. So we're gonna go back into phase 1 of deployment and just kind of keep going until the battle either ends or we die. But I do want to tell you guys that we do have about an hour left of this game. Fair warning, we may not get to the end or have a resolution of these games. This is mainly to showcase the potential of these award-nominated games for the Crit Awards. So it's just is what it is, because we have a time limit and we want to respect people's time. So let's do it again. So I'm gonna take my crazy looking die and we're gonna roll it. Let me scroll down so you can see a little bit more of phase 1, which is what we are doing. Okay. That was only one card. That was a 1. Which is a Jack of Clubs. Jack of Clubs. Okay. Let's go take a look and see what we're doing next. Oh, we're gonna do more with our Chevalier unit. Yay. Okay. Let's do that. Okay. During a sortie? Does anyone know how to say that word? Sortie? I feel like it should be soiree, but I don't know. Let me know what you think. S-O-R-T-I-E. Sortie. Into the enemy territory, your Chevalier unit receives enough damage to severely impact its function. With no repair crew in tow, you are forced to attempt to fix it. Try your best to get it up and running again, but suspect that you ultimately may have done more harm than good. Pull from the tower. Do not replace this block at the top of the tower or remove it from the game. Ugh. Okay. So we're gonna do the tokens since we're not doing the tower. When instructed to pull from the tower, instead roll the die. If the dice shows 6, you lose a token. Okay. There was a 6. Yeah, I know, definitely not soiree, but it feels like the word I should be using, which is weird. Ugh. Yeah, it's teaching me a lot of new words. There goes another die from our tower. 2, 4, 6. So technically we have 7 left, but that does not mean anything good nor bad. Okay. So our unit is now severely damaged. Unit is severely damaged. Shit. I imagine as she's trying to repair the unit and how it's going, I imagine since before in the initial phases, she confides in it, even if it's not listening, really, because it's a machine. She doesn't quite know if it is or not. She tells it her secrets, her feelings, her fears. So as she's attempting to do repairs that she probably has no idea how to do in the first place, is probably just, her eyes are probably just filled with tears, hoping that it's gonna be okay. So now we've removed that card since we were only doing 1 for that phase. We're gonna move on to the next one. So basically it's chapters, I guess. But I'm gonna just, yeah, I like that chapter. Chapter 2, this is going to be chapter 3. Oops. I'm a little sad. Okay, so we'll go back up. We're gonna roll the die again to see how many cards we can pull. Okay, 4. Whew, 1. Actually, that may not be good. It is your personal Chevalier unit that was damaged. Yeah. Okay, we've got 4 cards. I'm gonna lay them out. And let's see what it brings us. First card, 10 of Hearts. Okay. So Hearts is personal files. Ooh, Few understand the burden upon your shoulders. During a tense briefing, you are ordered to head into an active situation. There are troops already on the ground engaging in combat. Yet you refuse orders to pilot your Chevalier and enter battle. How are you punished for it? That actually works really well. Her commanders probably don't give a shit that her unit is still not functioning fully. And so the way that she refuses to go into combat is, my unit is broken. I'm trying to fix it. I can't go into an active battle and do anything because it doesn't work. There's no way I can do this and be useful. I'll just go in there and die. So I think the way that she would be punished... You know, it's interesting. I think... So because of when we did that first... One of those first... I think it was the first poll. Was the... was that dinner. And they probably saw in these young eyes excitement for having good food. So I think they would punish her by doing something personal instead of like, oh, go clean this, go clean that, you know, some sort of grunt work. I think they'd punish her by not allowing her to eat any of the good food. I think she would have to stick with, you know, something super basic, super bland, and have it hurt more personally. Let's see. Refuse to go into battle. Oops, I'm doing all caps. I do that constantly. Refuse to go into active battle because of broken Chevalier. Punished more personally by eating the bland, expired, or unwanted food. Okay. So that did not stay. Oh well. Okay. Return any card to the deck that you haven't yet turned over and shuffle it. I'm going to take whatever this fourth one is. I'm going to put it back into the deck and shuffle it. So now I only have 2 cards left instead of 4 for this chapter. Shuffle 1. Shuffle 2. Okay. That has been shuffled back in. The next one. 4 of clubs. Okay. 4 of clubs. Chevalier unit. Oh no. Okay. Here we go. It becomes easy to forget the sheer size and power of the machine you wield. The civilian you killed, who was unfortunate enough to be caught in the path of your unit, is a stark reminder, however. Pull from the tower. Oh. That... Knowing that she wouldn't harm a civilian intentionally probably makes this worse. It was probably just something, heat of battle, did not see the person, and basically crushing them unintentionally, and fresh reminder that there are intense content warnings, especially for descriptions and things that happen. So I'm going to move forward with additional descriptions. Unintentionally crushing a civilian. I put the content warnings here pinned, but I will copy and paste them again so they are just like fresh in the chat if you cannot see the pinned. The unintentional crushing, the way that, like, midst of battle, feeling the crunch underneath her foot. She knows exactly what it is. And her whole demeanor drops. And it, this is going to scar her mentally because it was an accident. Someone that she didn't see. They will be unidentified, so she has no one to apologize to, if she even could. So this is a huge, hard-hitting blow for her. Pull from the tower. Okay. That was a 1, so... You know what? I'm going to make my own personal executive decision that because we know DeWin very well now and what she feels, I'm going to ignore that roll for the tower and I'm going to pull 1 myself from it because I think it is enough pull and enough damage to her that I would intentionally pull it. It would not be something that I think she could recover from. Okay. So, oh, I forgot to put that it was a 10 of hearts. Oh, not 110. 10 of hearts. This one was a 4 of clubs. Killed civilian. She will not emotionally recover from it. It will probably affect her judgment as well, in the fact that she'll probably be a little too cautious now. So she'll probably be a bit too cautious. Too many L's. Okay. Moving on to the next one. A 9 of hearts. Damn. Okay. Alright. 9 of hearts. Okay, that's a personal file. You are permitted to call one of your next of kin. Pull from the tower. I went into creating this character as we've been talking. I don't think she would have a next of kin. I don't think she would have one. I think the fact that she feels alone hurts even more when she, you know, confides in her Chevalier. I think they tell her, you know, you can contact your next of kin. She would go and talk to her Chevalier and say that she's always been alone. Has had no one besides Luke who defected. There's no one. She's truly alone. And it's just her and her Chevalier that was damaged, which over time, you know, fixed. But yeah. That's what we're gonna say. Just no next of kin. Okay. So that was a 9 of hearts. No next of kin to call. She's truly alone with her Chevalier. This game is so cool. Like, it's of course got really heavy and terrifying themes, but at the same time, actually, I kind of enjoy that. When I play RPGs, 89, I don't know, I said not 89, but 89% of the time I'm always playing a character that is the one who is humor in a dark situation, or, you know, something like that. And I had yet to play until VTM and Mutvia, some of the campaigns I'm into, actually explore darker themes, which has been oddly exhilarating because it's not one that I've ever, like, explored before. So this game is fascinating in the way that you get to experience through your character things that you would never get, hopefully never experience in real life. I really like this. This is really cool. Okay. Those 3 cards are done. We're gonna take them, and we were not told to shuffle anything back in, but we do need to pull from the tower. So we are gonna roll here. That was a 4, so everything is okay. And I do have about just less than 40 minutes until this particular game is over, and we will take about a 15-ish break until we do the next game, which I believe is the Librarian's Apprentice. Oh, Shadow, if you are here and you are able, can you double check that the game command is Chevalier and that there's a link for the game? I did not, I don't think I checked. Hold on, I gotta clear my throat. Okay, there we go. If you are able. If not, I will just post the links myself. Okay, so we're gonna go back up and we're gonna do chapter 4. This is gonna test my limits of knowing Roman numerals. Okay, chapter 4. Okay. I'm gonna do another phase. I'm gonna shuffle just one more time just because, I don't know, got the feeling. Okay, so we're gonna roll our die again to see how many cards we can pull for this chapter, and that is 2. So we are pulling 2 cards. We've got our 2 cards. Okay, so the very first card is 6 of diamonds. Okay, so let's go to the battlefield. 6 of diamonds, battlefield, 6. As you reach the outer atmosphere of Earth, you can't help but see the sheer amount of debris orbiting the planet. Broken satellites, destroyed Chevaliers, spent ammunition, all of it a testament to the battles fought here. It's a harrowing sight, but also a dangerous one that you must navigate with care. This poor human is constantly seeing destruction, death, but I think seeing it in the realm of in the sky just looks different. It's not only like the destruction on Earth is real, but this makes it feel even more real in the fact that it's out there. It's farther out. The destruction is pushing forward and it's pushing out. So that was 6 of diamonds. Whoops. 6 of diamonds. Oh, apparently. Okay, 6 of diamonds. So this is seeing destruction. in the sky and out, showing how the destruction is pushing farther out. Okay. The next card is, oh my gosh, another diamonds. 4 of diamonds. Okay. Here we go. You marvel at your base's host city, at how your base's host city has adapted to accommodate your Chevalier. Great towers and buildings shift and move on platforms to allow for swift launches, huge cranes that hoist your equipment up to you. The whole city seems to hum in a whir in response to you and your movements. Considering how connected she's finding herself to the Chevalier unit that she has, I think this is probably as close to home as she could probably feel, because it synergizes her and her armor's needs as one. Not only are they what I think is more or less physically attached, especially with the unit. This is probably where, if she is needing some sort of comfort, she would come here and watch all of it. Not only does she experience it when going out into the battlefield, but she probably just enjoys sitting there in or next to her unit, watching all of this synergy. It's probably going to be where she feels most at home. Okay, that was a 4 of diamonds. The base's city and synergy. Oh, thank you, Nat. Thank you. Synergy, feel where she's most home, as she feels most connected to her unit and their bond. Okay, that's it for chapter 4. All right, let's go and pull again. Ooh, that is 5 this time. Nope. Yep, 5. I can count. Okay, so we're going to pull those 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, 5 cards. Move my glasses out of the way. Did you know I normally wear glasses? For those who don't know, I actually wear glasses. This is how I normally look. I feel like I have a Clark Kent thing sometimes where people are like, oh my gosh, you wear glasses? I've never seen you wear glasses. I'm like, well, it's hard to wear with headphones. Perfect. Just want to make sure I thanked you all. Okay. First card. 9 of clubs. These are gorgeous cards. Okay. 9 of clubs. Okay, so clubs. Oh, yay, more Chevalier. Oh, also, oh no. We never know what's going to happen. I'm going to take this off now because it just feels weird with headphones. So yeah, everything's always just a little bit blurry for me. Okay. Chevalier. Let's see what happens. 9. Okay, yeah. Okay. The cockpit is hit by debris. Most of the Chevalier systems escape damage, but the environmental controls are completely destroyed. You are forced to rely on the meager amount of oxygen in the energy supply of your pilot suit. How does it feel knowing you only have minutes of air before you suffocate? So, would this be death? This feels like death. You know what? feels right. Oh my gosh, I'm feeling connected to the Chevalier. I'm feeling emotional. I very rarely cry on stream. This might be one of those times where I weep. Hi, Yuri. Yeah. Considering all we've gone through, I'm gonna summarize. I'm getting emotional. This is really sad. But like in a good way. Okay, so chapter 1. So to summarize again for those who are new, the character's name is here on Dawin, but I've been calling her Dawin. As in the military, I think it's from a memory, so they usually go by last name, so I've been calling her Dawin. Was thrown into battle with basically like a robot that encases your Chevalier unit. I'll show you an image of what the helmet looks like when it goes on. Is this. So what has been happening these past few chapters, she was invited with many others to a banquet. There's been a lot of famine, death, destruction, horrifying things, and yet this military invited them to a soiree of sorts where there was really good food, real meat, sugar, which I'm sure she hasn't tasted actual sugar in a really long time. So she was conflicted with excitement and guilt, knowing that others can't have this and it's all being basically hoarded by the rich and powerful. And after that, nobody really listens to younger people. I realized I put age 30 on the screen, but that was before I realized the age thing that we were going to be doing in the game, which is that she's going to be 18. So there's little conflicting information there, but nobody really listens to the younger people, and anytime she attempts to speak up, do something for herself, it's either resulted in punishment or completely ignored, which had caused her to confide in her Chevalier unit. Whether she knows it's listening or not, she's still there. And confiding in it, telling it her secrets, if she has any. And then after that, in the midst of battle, she fought who was now her enemy, which is Luke, who was a cadet that fought alongside her for a while. Didn't have any formal training, but when they did do training, they would basically battle it out with each other and figure things out because they weren't trained how, so they're figuring it out as they go. But he defected to the other side. Who the actual enemy is, we don't know. We were just told to fight. And has had to fight him on the battlefield several times. After that, during another battle, there was a comrade during an ambush that needed help, but there were too many civilians around. And Dewin made the decision not to shoot through this civilian populated area to save their comrade. After that, chapter 2, during another battle, the Chevalier unit was severely damaged. She was trying to fix it. Wasn't really taught how to fix it. It's just kind of figuring it out, hoping for the best. And since she is so attached to her unit, the way that she was fixing it was just through tears and hoping that she didn't, in her eyes, kill it. And in chapter 3, she was given orders to go into an active area. And she said, no, my unit is too broken. I would just go in there and just immediately die. I would be of no use, nothing at all. And these commanders, shall we say, had seen her at that soiree, the like light in her eyes, eating something good. What they currently ate like day to day was not bad. It was better than what she would be having not being in the army. I'm assuming just army. And she was punished in a way that was not like, go to the toilets, you know, silly, weird things like that. That would be more like physical punishment in a way that's like manual labor. They punished her by telling her she's going to be eating something different this next week. And it was going to be the most bland, potentially expired, or unwanted food. That's how she would be punished, because they saw how much she enjoyed having decent food. And they felt that punishment was best. In the next area, I will do an additional content warning. They are pinned, but I will refresh it again for this description of someone who was killed. It was a civilian, I decided. During a heat of battle, there was a lot going on. She didn't notice, but she stepped. The unit that she's wearing is massive. Like, this isn't just like Iron Man armor. This thing is like the Hulkbuster. Like, it's huge armor. And she felt the crushing of a human body underneath her foot. She knew exactly what it was. The body is unidentifiable. Whether she would want to apologize to the next of kin, she wouldn't be able to. Who knows who this was? But it affected her so severely that part of the game is removing stuff from towers. This one didn't tell me to remove anything from the tower or roll from it. I decided to do that myself because of how we have discovered how Dewin works. I removed one myself, which is the tower is kind of like how you are mentally, your connection with your unit, other things like that. It broke her emotionally and psychologically, so I removed one myself to reflect that damage. Next was she was given permission to contact a next of kin. She doesn't have a next of kin. We had talked in the past, about all of these feelings of being alone, that she only has her Chevalier unit. The only friend she ever had was Luke that defected. I kind of went into the game initially thinking, I think she would have no family. I think this would be like the only thing she has. So instead of calling a next of kin, which she doesn't have, she went and hung out with her Chevalier unit, talked to it about what she would say to another human being that she would care about. And then in the next chapter, where she was kind of it was within the Earth's atmosphere, towards the end, towards the cap really. There was a lot of destruction, ammunition, satellites, debris, and it made her world a lot bigger yet smaller, because all of the destruction she had currently known and experienced was all on Earth. And so going out and seeing it out in the atmosphere made it feel more real, and that her world got a little bit bigger, but also smaller. And it was something that she realized, this is getting pushed farther and farther out. Where is this battle gonna lead? Who knows? Or I guess war. Where's the war gonna lead? And the next one is their base. The base that she's currently stationed at. I actually kind of want to read the description. So this was 4 of diamonds. I don't remember which one diamonds is, so I'm going to go and look at my cheat sheet. So let's see. Diamonds battlefield. Okay, 4 of diamonds. Because this is really cool. You marvel at how your base's host city has adapted to accommodate your Chevalier. Great towers and buildings shift and move on platforms to allow for swift launches. Huge cranes hoist up your equipment up to you. The whole city seems to hum and whir in response to you and your movements. And in the way that we've gotten to know DeWin and how she feels very connected to her unit, it is probably the only place that she feels any sense of home, because she is so connected with her unit, telling it everything about her secrets, feelings, desires, crying, yelling, screaming, everything to this unit. Feeling the synergy between the two and watching how the city accommodates that synergy is probably, especially recently, the only place that she feels home and feels a little bit of happiness, is there watching all of it and just taking it all in. Which brings us, I was kind of attempting to delay this, 9 of clubs. So, there's clubs. I was like, does clubs exist? Which is the Chevalier unit. So 9 of clubs. You can choose whether or not this is the end. But timing aside for how long I have to do this game, because we have so many, we've gone through a lot already with DeWin. So I'm going to read this again. The cockpit is hit by debris. Most of the Chevalier systems escaped undamaged, but the environmental costs are completely destroyed. You are forced to rely on the meager amount of oxygen in the emergency supply of your pilot suit. How does it feel knowing you have minutes of air before you suffocate? And it feels right. That the way that she would go out is with her unit. So for my decision for the character, this is how it ends. And this is how it's going to end for her, feeling the only way I can describe how I believe she would feel in her last few minutes. She would be oddly calm, talking to her unit, kind of giving it gratitude. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you for being the only one there for me. Thank you for being me. Because she feels that they are so connected that they are each other. And she feels a sense of peace as, again, content warning for suffocation, as she feels the air dissipating. It happens slowly at first, and then very suddenly once it's actually gone. The choking and gasping is her body's natural response to lack of oxygen. Her unit is, by my decision, also shutting down alongside. So their lights go out together. with her body's response to the air not being there anymore, for some reason within her heart and in her mind, she feels calm and she feels ready to be done. There's so much that has gone on already. She feels ready. And she feels okay. As her and her Chevalier's lights go out together on the battlefield. And that's where that story is going to end. With our little Dewin going out with her friend together. As a reminder, this is just a game. There are intense content warnings with Chevalier. It allows you to feel and experience things through your character that hopefully you never have to experience yourselves. It tells an intense story in so many potentially different ways. How dare you make me cry on Saturday morning? I also cried a little bit. With all of these intense stories and other things, I really enjoyed it. I really truly enjoyed it. And I don't normally with World D5 and how we play so many games, there are some that I'm like, I wish I could go back and play again, but I don't have the time, you know, some of these other things. With having this solo game and having it be basically a choose your own adventure, but the adventure chooses you, I desperately want to play this again and see what other kinds of characters have different stories within this universe, because it could go so many ways. Like we've gone through some of these pages, which are just, there's so many. There's so much going on. There's some really cool stuff too here at the end. So I kind of did this on my own. Read over once more who your pilot was, where they came from, consider how they arrived to the program, who they were, and how they left it. That's kind of more or less what I did already, and it felt justice to the characters. So I kind of just want to read a little bit about this at this ending. This is a quote from Daguza Mako, Mobile Suit Gundam Unicorn, the show that is kind of like, here's an example of one to look at. Thank you, Yuri. I'm glad you enjoyed the recap as well. Even a cog in a machine has its pride. Now go and play your own part. It's the one place where you can decide for yourself who you are. Don't ever lose it. These are kind of cool. If your pilot died, redact all of their information except for the pilot ID and the cause and time of death. If a photograph of the pilot is attached, mark it with a killed in action, ensuring that as much of the face is obscured as possible. I did attempt to actually make one of those to put on the screen, but I forgot last second because I was having some tech issues. But imagine there's killed in action listed across my face and things are redacted. And we did this together. Sit for a moment with your final log and consider who might be the one to receive it. She didn't record a log. There's just no one to give it to. She was alone. No one listened to her. It was just her and her Chevalier. Did you form bonds with your comrades and superiors, or will your last words go unheard, just another faceless casualty in an eternal war? Yeah. Last words go unheard. Not in the way that it's kind of like unheard as in like a depressing way. It's more of in a private and peaceful way between her and her unit. I like to think of it that way. It's not something sad. The unheard works because it was a private moment. What mark did you leave on the world? Did you make a difference? That's up for debate on whether she made a difference or not, positive or negative. It's this really cool ID. I love this. This is a great way to frame the game. and myself. And here's our confidant, our friend, our Chevalier unit. So with that, thank you everybody for being here for Chevalier. I have never played a solo game before, and this was an incredibly wonderful experience. Streaming it was a little daunting for me and a little bit scary. So I commend streamers who have only their chat to talk to. We're very lucky in the fact that we have lots of people to talk to every time we stream. And it makes me appreciative tenfold of chat and how influential you are to our lives and the story, and being able to see and feel the things that you're feeling as well. So thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna pull up our schedule for the day so I can give you a little bit additional detail. Okay, so let's see. It's 12 for me. Okay, so we are going to take about let's see, where are we at now? Okay, we're going to take about a 15 to 20 minute break because we are, for this first part of our long stream day, we are playing, we're playing 3 games, so there's 2 more after this, within the next, like, 15, 20 minutes. Danielle, DMTTA, will be playing the next game, which is The Librarian's Apprentice, and I am genuinely looking forward to that as like somebody who's like this anxious librarian's assistant. I'm so excited. This is gonna be fantastic. So we'll see you in about 15 to 20 minutes for the next game. After that will be Nat. You'll notice as well that the people who are playing in today's solo games are all from the Roll D5 team. So next is Nat, also known as Nat 20, who's going to play Dragon Dowry. Make sure I pronounce that right. So we'll have all sorts of information and other things up here for you. But for now, I am just going to take us into basically our short rest screen. For you to enjoy some music, hang out, you know, do stuff with chat. Oh, Stream Elements just reminded me we had I even wrote this down for myself around 2 a.m. that instead of rolling a die, I was gonna do the chat commands. Damn it! Damn it! Either way, it works, but I totally forgot that I was gonna do that. But please take a break yourselves, get some water, get some food, get up and stretch. Take care of yourself, both physically and mentally, because this was an intense game. You come first. This is just a game. So thank you for sticking around, and we will see you here soon with Danielle with the